people don't go anywhere without reading reviews. Is your restaurant clean? How quick is your service? How quick is your return policy? If you have a return policy, how can I shop? When can I shop? So the fact that people are at home before making a decision, they're going to read your rap sheet, your Google reviews, your Yelp reviews, your Yahoo, all that is your credit. And if you don't have customer credit, chances are you're going to do business to somebody else.
Yo, what's going on? Welcome back to the Mastermind Things podcast. Hopefully you guys are doing well today. Super excited to have a guest, good friend that I met over the past couple of years, and we've gotten to do a few things together, and super excited for him to be officially on the podcast. I mean, I feel like we've live streamed so many times, so you guys may have seen him on old stuff, but this is new, so you need to check this out. So this is my man, Fernando Vargas. Fernando, how you doing today, man?
I'm exhausted. I'm doing good.
Oh man, yeah, look, let's start easy. I always want to make sure everybody knows who we're talking to and like why we bring you on. And so give the people a little bit, tell them who Fernando is and what you do, what you got going on currently.
Fernando Vargas is the individual at 20 years, left Florida and nonstop travel with two different companies. And then I came back home 2019. I tried corporate life. And then COVID happened, and then COVID took me out of corporate life. So when COVID was in the midst of things and COVID was about to end, I had to resort to what I'm best at, which is graphic design, media design, photography, video. So as of right now, Fernando Vargas is the owner of Florida Digital Center, and Florida Digital Center builds customizable business solution for new, existing, local businesses. And local businesses is better than having a small business, because when you have a small business, it keeps it small. When you want to grow a local business, that's keeping the money in your community. So Florida Digital Center gives you all the business solutions you need to keep your business local.
Yo, I love that. I think one of the cool things we were talking about offline was just the idea of one, how we actually met and how because we met during COVID, right? During all this live stream stuff, man. Give people a little bit of that, man, how we actually got together.
Yeah, so COVID was the opportunity to revisit certain conversation, revisit some old plans, ideas, and all of a sudden you're joining different groups because there's no more work, there's no more travel, there's no more bonding experience. So we had to revert to internet groups, and I think we met on a business solutions or business media, or might even be like a Black business caucus thing on the internet. So we joined it, and what stood out was you were coming on critiquing websites, you were coming on critiquing this, critiquing that, and I was like, well, I need help. I need support. So I threw up my website. We had one-on-one, and then you gave me some critique. I changed my whole website. And then I was with a client yesterday, and she's like, hey, I want my website to look like yours. And I was like, well, my website has about over 200 hours of changes. So it's like, it doesn't happen in a week, doesn't happen in a month. Like my website literally has, and this is a template website. This is not a WordPress website. It's not a custom. Well, it is custom, but I saw a template on GoDaddy, but I literally have 200, and that's based off of you because you came off really experienced in that business marketing customer journey, and I wanted to get to that. And I was like, you know what? This guy's talking all this game. Let me just see what he can do for my business, because everybody was having free consulting advice during COVID. So I took that consulting advice for free.
Bro, that's so cool. And that's funny. I forgot that I was like, man, what was the spark? Because I was like, I knew we met on the internet, and that's what it was, that group. And I mean, that was a good experience. I mean, because for me, I was already in the tech space, so it was cool to be able to just run my mouth online for free and, and talk, and people actually listen. So that's super dope, man. One of the things, I mean, I know, so man, there's so many different things going through my head of like what we've experienced over the past couple of years, right? Because I feel like in the couple years that we've known each other, it feels like we've known each other a lifetime, because the conversations we have offline and the different kind of business ideas that we've been able to jump on. What do you have going on now? Because I know you're talking about the local business and why that's important, local versus small business. Can you like expound upon that a little bit, man?
Yeah, for sure. So when I'm trying to figure out, okay, Fernando, Florida Digital Center offers what? What do they offer? And I realized here in Florida, so take it back. So during COVID, I created this community platform called the Florida Voice. And with the Florida Voice, I found out that here in Florida, at the time, 60% of businesses here in Florida are ran by small business. And small business are 50 employees and under, 100 and under. So that means your neighbor, your relatives are owned, are employed by small businesses. When the COVID came, a lot of these small businesses don't offer benefits, don't offer nothing. So when COVID finished, I was like, all right, great. I invested myself, invested in some different products and platforms. And how can I give these local small businesses support to make sure that there's opportunities that have benefits. Aflac has great insurance, but things cost much. So ultimately, what I'm working on right now is trying to re-educate these business owners that it doesn't cost that much to elevate your back end. It doesn't cost that much to give benefits. It doesn't cost that much just to increase your revenue by building or re remold your admin process.
Yeah, that's so good. What got you into the space in the first place of like wanting to even help businesses with that? Like, what was the inspiration behind that?
I think that the biggest inspiration was not only like I'm a corporate man, I'm a company man. You know, I come in early and I leave late, but ultimately, COVID really kicked it in that I can be an employer. I can hire contractors. I can hire this. You know, so I know here in Florida, after 6 months of contractor, either you're going to fire them, rehire them, or you're going to put the person into payroll.
Right.
And then and with that, like my mom, you know, my relatives don't make much, don't earn many opportunities, one vacation a year, you know. So like, it's like if I have the opportunity to make these businesses earn income
Mm.
in a cost effective way, it's great. You know, if you don't have 10% of what you made annually as your marketing dollars, don't advertise, don't pay for that. What you can do is make sure your business is listed, make sure your business is clean, make sure you have a great customer journey flow, and ultimately make sure you have a customer service department. Because it's very it sucks when you get paid late, you can't find anything on a shopping cart, the website's outdated, information is outdated, you know, trust, and then you wonder why your business sucks
Dude, that was so good
or
because I
not
think
performing well.
I love it because like I know, and it's crazy because you started off by like, hey, I saw this guy talking about websites, but then it was funny because when we got to talking, you started showing me some of the like the local business stuff that I just like I overlooked, and like it was like you see it every day, but you didn't think like, oh man, you know what? My business should be there. Like you saying, the Google My Business and all that. And so I think what was cool is the mutualism, right? It wasn't just the one of us needed the other one. It was like literally we got into conversations of, man, hold on, you're doing this. Like how do we partner those things together and make something even better? You know, I mean, because like I said, I try to tell you know this is the new podcast, but we've live streamed together talking about this, trying to help people on the digital marketing side, on the podcasting side, and so it's always so great to be able to have these conversations and have somebody in your corner that you know we can share those things, and we're not worried about you know competition, right? Most people can't get together because they're like, oh, you know, Fernando might steal my business, and you're like, well, no, we're different. Like we serve different audiences, but the same from different aspects. So I always think that's cool. Has I get you know I don't know that COVID's over, right? I don't know if it's over, but like the has the season changed for you on your business? Like, does it look different now that things are opening back up? Or is business stronger? Is it different because you're not as much digital? You know, like what does that look like for you?
I would say when COVID definitely forced me because I'm a photographer. That's my back end. But be as a photographer, I'm able to see things in a creative space. Be as a photographer, I'm able to tell stories and build characters, and that all got thrown away. So I kind of went to like a digital consulting, you know, how to help a new upcoming brand, existing business, and say, listen, maybe you should use these images or these graphics, this and that. As of right now, my business of photography, videography, recording has not been as strong because I've been the back end of the business, the workflow of the business, But now, little by little, I'm coming back behind the cameras and doing some live recording, live streaming, and stuff like that to make sure that my clients have a one-stop shop with Fernando Vargas, one-stop shop with Florida Digital Center, product photography, commercials, voiceover, podcast, website design, everything one-stop shop. Because when you get your haircut, you're asking your barber, hey, who sells cars? Totally separate situations, but when you trust one person,
Yeah.
that's your go-to corner. Hey, who else do you trust?
Yeah, that's so good, man. What's like a tip for because I know you say local businesses, right? So for a local business, say I'm trying to think. I have an aunt, right, that they just started and I say started. They have a flower shop, and they were kind of doing it out of their house for a while in Greensboro. Like, if they come to you and go, Fernando, where do I even start? Like, how do I even get people to see me? What do you tell them in that?
Yeah, the hardest part is when here are my levels. These are just the Florida Digital Center's opinion. Does not go against Mastermind's views. This is just our opinions. The initial level is a weekend hustle, weekend hobby.
Mhm.
Those mechanics, those cricket people who make stuff, and it's just a weekend stuff. And then when you get that confidence from your relatives, oh my gosh, you're so great, you should do this. And that weekend goes to part time. And so, but you're still using your same email address, you're still using the same phone number. And then from part time to a small business is when you should invest in a new phone number. Google Voice is free. Don't have to spend money on a new line. Google's now offering free email addresses, So once you get higher into creating this new income with this business, so you should build your business around. So with your auntie, you said is definitely do like an audit. I ultimately it's always best to spend anywhere from like $200 to $500 on a self audit before putting more money in month in month out and not knowing where the money needs to go to. So definitely go to an audit. We offer an audit, and that audit does everything that your business is tied to and not tied to. Ultimately, your business is your fingerprint, and if your digital fingerprint is so small, then that kind of answers questions. You got to start somewhere, and I always say start with an audit. But if your business is local and there's some services and products that are being exchanged, definitely get listed as everywhere as much as possible. Bing, Yahoo, Foursquare, Google, everything that has a map connected, because you don't know where that person searches to find that service.
Yeah. Yeah, that's so good, because I feel like one of the things that we run into, and like we're in that digital marketing space, right? We talk to all these guys and we see all the gurus and the companies that are just like, oh, I'll sell you Facebook ads, I'll sell you Google ads, and then you're like, and you go buy it, and then you're like, oh, why is my business like it didn't actually go up? And like the key to what you said was, and this changed it for me too, is because I never did the audit. And you gave me an audit, and I was like, it's funny is as much as I even do all the digital stuff and I'm in this world, I never stopped to go, well, what is the internet? How does the internet see me? And so, bro, that's so amazing. So how important on the local, especially on the local business, right? You were talking about all those different kind of platforms, right? Can you touch on like why the even I don't even know if the psychology is the right word, but like why they matter, like why those the Google lookups, the Bings, all that. Why does that matter to a local business?
It matters because the illusion is when your cash register rings, your door gets open and closed. The illusion is that you having customer. The illusion is that you're making money. But the numbers is determines how often that person is going to come back. The numbers determines if that person is telling somebody else. So if you don't have any business dashboard to follow the numbers, then you're just guessing and you're just waiting. When you're driving Lyft, you're waiting for that one ride. Driving Uber, waiting for that one ride. And when you open a business, you're waiting for that one. That your first haircut is always waiting, But like digitally wise, there's no open sign. So how do you tell your customers are open? Make a post, make an announcement, email campaign, text campaign. So when someone needs a haircut, where are they going to go? Are you on Waze? Are you on Apple Maps? Are you on Google Maps? So you never know you never know how that person looks for an opportunity or pays for that service. So you got to cover all your areas. So when we look at those websites on during Facebook, they stop at Instagram and that was their business plan. But when Instagram, Facebook, and WhatsApp, owned by the same company, went down, your business went down. Not mine. You can find me on Google. You can find me on, I sell products on Google. So ultimately you gotta be local. And to be local, you gotta be everywhere. Your business has to be on a 5-lane highway with multiple exits.
Dude, that's man. It brought up something else I was thinking about that I've watched you do, and it's funny because I'm not good at it. And I'll be honest with you guys, and you're listening. What I'm about to tell you there, Fernando, he telling me to do it, and he does it really well for other clients, and I just have not jumped into it. Are reviews. And like I'm horrible at the review game. Like I forget to ask people. I don't have any like I may have 2 video testimonials, right? Like, and we've been on live streams. I don't know how many times. I've never even clipped out you saying, "Hey, we met and he helped me with my website." Like I'm not even. Why are reviews so important, man? How do they help?
So cats at the bag. Guess what? Instagram has reviews. Bet you didn't know that. But you got to pay to hear me say that. But anyways, so ultimately, reviews are testimonials. Reviews are that. So when the people don't go anywhere without reading reviews. Is your restaurant clean? How quick is your service? How quick is your return policy? If you have a return policy, how can I shop? When can I shop? So the fact that people are at home before making a decision, they're going to read your rap sheet, your Google reviews, your Yelp reviews, your Yahoo, all that is your credit. And if you don't have customer credit, chances are you're going to lose business to somebody else. So I've been in business for 2 years now, and I have about 30 reviews. Not a lot, but pretty good. But in my industry, it's about average. I will lose business if I have 0 reviews. Will you trust me and give me $1,000 a month if I have 0 reviews, which means I have 0 customers? The reviews backs your business. The reviews backs up your testimonials. Testimonials backs up what you can really offer. And if you don't have nobody speaking on behalf of you, chances are you're not going to have any business unless you're selling hot dogs or you're a food truck and the food speaks for itself. But for small businesses, local businesses to take money in their pockets and say, hey, I want to invest in you to help me grow my business, and you don't have anybody that says you did this well, it's hard to sell your business.
Yo, that's so good. One of the things I was thinking about is, and like I said, we kind of dealt with this and we talk about it a lot offline, is the pandemic kind of it like demolished a lot of people's businesses, right? There are guys like us that go, this is a new opportunity. Let's go try a new thing, right? And we jump on it. But what about those local businesses? Like, what advice would you give them to? Because it's happened. Everybody didn't realize that it's possible, recessions, all that stuff, and people are even talking that now. But like, what's some advice that you give to them to help them be, like the brick and mortar businesses come to the digital side or lean into the digital side more? You got any advice for those kind of clients?
Not the uncomfortable answer was fire who you're working with and hire someone local. You cannot have a company in California doing your marketing for your business in Jacksonville, Florida, because they don't know how Jacksonville is 1 to 3 hours behind. So you can't come to them at the last minute such. So Florida Digital Center can help any business in Florida because we know Floridians from Gainesville, Tampa, Key West. We know Floridians. We know what happens, how to sell pre-hurricane, during hurricane, after hurricane, summertime. I'm trying to say, so we don't care about no winter sale because there's no winter in Florida. So all these marketing advice that out of state companies offer you you're just one number. So I really recommend hire someone local because that local person can give you that boutique style one-on-one attention that your business needs, because ultimately you're taking funds away to help your business grow. The second thing I would say is hire someone. Hire local, but make sure you're passing on that responsibility to an experienced individual to be for you, because you can't cook, clean, sell, prep, and then market. You have no time to do that. So Take some money, read your numbers, and hire someone local that can make the decisions for you.
That's man, that just gave me such insight because I never really thought about that, like the hiring local aspect of that, right? Like the insight that you have to the people in your area. Because I always wonder, and look, me personally, I always wondered, even in our conversations, what made you stick to the Florida, right? Putting the Florida in the name, because I was like, in my head, I'm like, man, that's limiting. Because for me, I'm like digital everything. Like I'm gonna sell to China if we got to, right? Like everybody. But like I never thought about that. Like, man, how did you even hone into that? Like to think about the local, like, is that part of why you honed into the Florida, like being in everything that you talk about, or?
No, I think ultimately COVID, there's a great friend of mine named May. She lives in New York City, and she does a lot of things local. So when I was traveling for like 10 years, I lost what it's like to be Floridian. Like something, even though I'm from Florida, but I lost the Floridian in me. So when I had the opportunity to come back home and start my own business, I want to be all things Florida. Florida businesses, Florida support, Florida community, Florida politics, all things Florida, because that's me. And that's the only way for me to get back into it. Because if nobody came in and opened this online, I would have been just like the others. I want to be all things Florida. I want to separate myself as much as possible. You're hiring someone up the street, you're hiring someone that looks like you, and you're hiring someone that buys from you. That's what you should do.
Dude, that's really cool, man. You had literally right there. I was like, oh man, I need a Charlotte podcast. I need a Charlotte, like I don't get all the Charlotte stuff, so I can like hone in and man, that's so good, man. Where do you see in this space going forward, right? Like you gave kind of the some of the simple stuff, right, for the people that are getting started to have a local business. What's that next step? So now they've checked with you, they've come to you and they've gotten the audit, right? So they see where they are and they go, okay, we're really bad. And you go, okay, cool. Now we need to get you on all the platforms, right? We need to get on the Google, we need to get you on the Foursquare, all the things you said. What becomes the next piece for you from your vantage point of helping them grow a little bit more?
Well, there's three steps,
Mm-hmm.
and it took me many small clients, big clients, lost clients to really realize we're in bed together. It's a relationship. It's something committed. And I asked three questions. First question is, how much money do you want to make with this new opportunity? Do you want to make $1 million? Well, if you want to make $1 million, that's a whole $1 million worth of commitment. If you want to just make an extra $1,000 a month, which is $12,000 a year, then I already know that you're going to give me a part-time effort because it's a part-time money opportunity. But if you want to grow this business to be your new form of income, then you have to know that I'm going to do an extra 10 hours a day, an extra 20 hours a month, extra, because ultimately in 6 months, I have a goal to hand in my letter of recommendation and start my new business, because my business has been built me enough income where I can sustain. But it's up to you to determine what you really want out of it. You can't ask for an extra $5,000 extra a month and you're only putting $100 worth of effort. It just does not happen. The second question I ask is, are you married? Do you have any kids? Do you have any commitment coming up? Because if you have all that, how are you going to fit in this new business idea? How are you going to fit in this new expansion? How are you going to fit this new company growth? Because guess what? Those vacations, those birthdays, those anniversaries, what's important? You have to say, hey, family, guess what? I'm going to open this new business, and mommy, daddy is going to take, or husband, wife, I'm going to start taking a backseat because this new business is going to make a big change for us. So how much money you want to make? Can you add this new business in your current lifestyle? And the second one is, do you have a budget? Or, with all due respect, can you even afford it? And the big difference is two things. Do you want to grow your business, or do you want to expand your business? If you want to grow your business, is a certain way to grow your business. But if you just want to expand it just a little bit, that's the big difference between $500 a month and $5,000 a month. Grow your business $5,000 a month because you're growing it, you're going full in. But if you just want to expand your business, a new service, a new product, and updating social media, updating the website, that's just expanding your business.
Yeah, that's so good, because some people get lost in that differentiation, right? Of like, because what's the one word, like when people get into it, when they're like, I want to grow, I want to scale, they're like, those are different things, and they require a very different person to run the things, and so it's so cool that you gave that perspective on there. um man, oh man, I hate when because I'm like, my brain is like ping ponging all over all the thoughts, because there's so much in there. At what point, and have you ever had experience with a local business kind of growing even out of that local area, like expanding? Because I know you work with so many different clients, and I always wonder about I don't know, like I said, the local flower shop that they started, but they're like, okay, cool, we're ready to get into a second spot and that kind of thing. Have you had any experience working with clients with, say, multiple locations? That's what I was trying to get out.
Yeah, so there is an opportunity where what I give my business, give a background. I give my business the confidence hug that I could take on any partnership, the confidence that they can take on a new location, the confidence to grow, because Fernando Vargas from Florida Digital Center has built them a customizable solution where they can do what they need to do. So my current client I have right now is called the Ganja Clinic. In the Ganja Clinic, we're going to change their name because the word ganja is not really allowed in different businesses. So we're trying to look for new leases, new opportunity. They're like, we don't want a dispensary. But even though it's a clinic, and all the clinic does is just gives these patients their card to go to dispensaries. So currently with this client, the Ganja Clinic, .com. Also, we purchased your medical marijuana-doctor.com, because you got to know what domains to buy. So anyways, so the Gaza Clinic, we're going to restructure their name. We're going to add more affiliate links to grow, because it costs money to sign a year lease. It costs money to move around, open locations. But the Gaza Clinic may be offering franchise opportunities as well too. So knowing what the current budget is, what the current runway is, meaning how much money do I have for the next few 6 months, determines on what you can do. So their business model, we're going to start with affiliate links, and our website will be our new real estates. Adding a new service is a real estate. Adding a new partnership is a real estate. So right now, you go to GanjaClinic.com, and then maybe by next week or next month, you'll see a location in Jacksonville. But that location in Jacksonville is just a service, not an actual location. So knowing, can you be a new location on concrete or a new location on internet?
Man, that was such a good one, because I mean, we've had conversations about that too, of like, sometimes the look, I don't even want to say it because it sounds almost bad, but like the looking bigger, right? The feeling bigger, the fact that, hey, we can service more clients, but kind of to spread that out, maybe I need another address, right? I need another, like for me, one of the big, we talk all the time, one of the things that I get into is always the white labeling, and getting other people to do services for me. But how do I not just be Charlotte? And people go, oh, you're in Charlotte, maybe you can't help me, right? Because I like, because what you were saying, like, the hiring local. And they go, oh, you're not here. And I go, no, I got an office in Florida.
You're not here, exactly.
Like, man, that
For sure. So one of the things that Florida Digital Center offers, we know that pool companies, labor companies, pool, landscapes, security, uh, housekeeping, constructions, they don't have a location for you to come to, because their services are coming to you. So yeah, so Florida Center we offer a unique opportunity that we sell our space. We rent our space out, and it comes with a key, comes with a mailbox, comes with a back-end system. It comes with a 24-hour virtual assistant. So we give that local business that works out of their truck, work out of the van, work out of their suitcase, the power to be found anywhere. With that is that we know the landscape to make it work. It's wild. So ultimately, you have to make a decision. You can't be a pool company in West Palm Beach and you're out of Miami. It's going to take you 2 hours to get to that location, unless you want to buy a new truck and offer new opportunities and so forth and so forth. So if your business is based off of online only, then the address does not matter, because you can ship anywhere. But if you're a pool company and you want to grow, max out your city, max out your county, and then get another truck, and then go for it, go from there.
Dude, I love what you said there too. Is I feel like sometimes I feel like we're jumping all over the place, but it's like so many good nuggets, like the things we're thinking about. is one of the things I've seen people do is they kind of grow in their head faster than the business itself grows. And like I caught you right there because you were like, blow up in your city first before you're like, hey, let me move. You know, I'm in Miami, let me move to West Palm Beach. And you're like, well, did you already service everybody you can service in Miami? And it's like, oh, no, I don't think so. Right. And like, why is that important, man? Being like taking that on, man.
It's super important because there's a lot of businesses out here.
Mm,
And what differentiates you for the next one is that my business was built because I was number two, number three, even number 10. Because you call your main person, that main person gets referred out, but guess what? They can't be found, they can't get contacted, they're no longer in the business, and you just drop down, drop down, drop down. But being consistent and being relatable, you get all the business you need. But max out as much as you can. You got the friends and relatives, you got the Facebook, you got the social medias, everything, because there's two types of customers. You have a customer that's going to come and buy one time, or you have a customer that comes in and it's going to be your sales team. You got to buy here. The food's amazing. You got to buy with them. The flowers are nice and fresh. So ultimately, you want to max out your local dollars before you start expanding. Because when you start expanding, your resources are different.
bro. That's so, that's, man. Dang, I hate when we get on the calls, man, because I don't ever want them to end. I just keep thinking of other stuff to keep going. It's like, no, but what about the one thing? Man, what's something cool that you have? And so I know you mentioned the Ganja Clinic project, and like, you got any cool projects that you can share that you're working on right now that like get you excited?
Oh yeah, the Ganja Clinic is probably the most challenging
Mm,
client that I have because the law's changing dramatically.
right.
We're here in Florida. Can you have a gun license and have a medical marijuana license? Yes. And then to find out that some probation officers are our funnel because they're saying, hey, here are my people come out of jail, get them their cards so they'll go back to jail. You know what I'm trying to say? So it's like, it's just like so weird that people are getting these cards because of this. People are caretakers and getting their card for their relatives because they can't go to doctors no more, and so forth and so forth. So the Ganja Clinic is definitely a passion project. The Ganja Clinic is something brand new to me. And the Ganja Clinic is a battle every day because the law is changing depending on who's in office. The other couple clients that I'm really enjoying is I have a client in Charlotte,
Mhm.
and the only reason why I took that client in Charlotte was because I kind of maxed out the Florida local thing.
Mhm.
And then I realized that all I need to do is just research more in that Charlotte area, and can I offer the same assistance outside of Florida, and so far that's good. So my two clients in Charlotte is really testing how local can my business be if you remove the word Florida. The other client that I really enjoy is this Botox Nouveau Med Spa.
Mm. Okay.
So having this Botox doctor, it's a different high end client that he services, but it's like HIPAA laws and regulations and set forms and legal forms. So Florida Digital Center went from designs, graphics to a food truck business to now like doctor's office and medical facilities and real estate brokerage firms. So the more I'm involved, the more I have to learn about law and locations and release forms and consent forms. It's just really knowing the whole aspect of that one business.
Yeah. That's so good. I laugh because when you started talking about it, I was like, the way I pick clients is I literally go to Facebook ads and I say, what's the drop down list of things that they're going to not let me advertise? I don't want to do anything with those because then I got to think harder, right? That's so crazy. I didn't even think about like the medical side of like, yeah, I got chills thinking about it, bro. More power to you on those types of
I
clients.
take it. I take it, and that's the thing because it really costs a lot not to afford me. It costs a lot to keep your business in business. So a lot of times, if you want to run an ad that costs $1, you got to pay someone 50 cents or even 75 cents just to run that $1. So that $1 is costing you 175.
Yep.
I would take that $1. I may keep 10 to 15 cents, but that 90 cents goes back into your business. A lot of these marketing companies are going to charge you $1 and only put 10 cents into your business, and that 90 cents goes into their profits. So yes, you are paying me, but those funds goes back into new products. Those funds goes back into making businesses listed. Those funds goes back into digital design, consulting, business development. And I don't stop at that. I continue with partnerships.
Yeah. That's so good, man. Man, man, we can go on day, and I know I'm going to have you on again because that's just how we kick it. We just always jumping on, man. Tell the people how to get in touch with you, how to find you, how they can work with you. If you even if you even have room for more clients, because I know you're like crushing the game, but you're growing at the same time. So let the people know, man.
So ultimately, the only way I got this business, I was in California in January with an out-of-state business. And the reason why I took that job for out-of-state, because I already had a system built at my office where I can take out-of-state projects. So someone called me and said, hey, can I speak to the owner of Vargas Media Group? That's me. But Vargas Media Group is an old business name that I had years ago. Fast forward, I get the business, 10-month contract, good to go, which is this Charlotte company. And I was like, you know what? Who referred you? Who referred you? Because I want to give that person a check. Like, thank you so much for giving me this job. Long story short, the person on Instagram spelled the name Vargas Media Group. And what did that person do? That person went to Google, because on their Instagram had no phone number. Instagram had no email address. There was no contact. And they were sending DMs, and that person didn't respond to the DM. So guess what they did? They Googled Vargas Media Group. My name was up top. My photo was up top. My website was up top. So you can find me on Alexa. You can find me on Siri. You can find me on Google, everything, because my digital footprint is everywhere. So thank you for that person who doesn't have your business set up, because I took that business. Fernando Vargas, Florida Digital Center, can be found.
Bro, look, that's a hilarious story. I love hearing that story over and over again. Hey, you heard it here first. Go ahead and go check him out. Find him at Florida Digital Center, because he's going to help you take other people's businesses if y'all got the same last. Johnson, is there a Johnson out there that we need to get Johnson to the top of the list, man? so like regular name. Like.
So here are a few things that I really appreciate about you, because not only you live stream my wedding, not only I invested for you to come down here in South Florida, help me out with my business office. Not only I sponsored your event in Orlando, it's a two-way street. Support does cost. It may not cost monetary wise, but it does cost so much time and effort. So ultimately, even though we're competitors, but Chris doesn't take on everything. I don't take on everything, but what keeps us unique, what keep us together, what keep us mentors of one of others, that I could relate to Chris. I could ask Chris for help and support, and knowing that I could come on to Chris, who has decades of production experience, which means now I have decades, because I could count on him and say, hey, Chris, I need to do this. How can I get this done the best way? Because I have a support system now within Chris, and that makes me a better business person.
Yeah, bro, that's so good, man. I appreciate you always, man. Thanks for coming on. You're actually the first official guest of Mastermind Thinks. You're like, people see old videos of us that they'll be like, "Isn't that the podcast?" No, that's the old podcast. This is the official new, man. So I appreciate you coming on. I appreciate your time, man.
Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Fernando Vargas, Florida Digital Center. And one last little nugget. You're going to have to separate yourself. Have somebody hire the business, not hire you. Because when they start hiring you, they only want to deal with you. They only want to speak with you. They don't want to deal with nobody but you. But you got to grow your business, please. But eventually have them hire the business. So no matter who they speak to or who does a job, they're happy with the service that they receive from your business.
Oh, man, you guys make sure you check out the rest of the episodes. Share this out to anybody that you feel would get value from this, and we'll catch you on the next episode of Mastermind Things.